There are words that don't just echo in your ears. They cut into your spirit. Not all danger comes with a blade. Some come dressed as subtle phrases meant to control, belittle, or trap you. Shi Heng Yi reminds you energy is sacred, and who you allow to speak into your life determines your path. When someone says these 7 specific things, they're revealing more about their own inner darkness than your worth. Wisdom is not just knowing who to welcome, it's knowing when to walk away. Because the moment you tolerate the intolerable, you give permission for your power to be taken. If you hear these words, don't argue, don't explain, just walk away. Number 1, you're too sensitive. A phrase that pretends to be harmless but carries the weight of subtle emotional violence. It's not just a comment, it's a dismissal, a quiet erasure of your humanity, spoken in a tone that demands silence from your soul. When someone says this to you, they're not offering insight. They're trying to dictate how you experience life. They are telling you that your feelings are an inconvenience, that your reactions are flawed, and that your emotional truth is invalid. But here's what they don't understand. Sensitivity is not fragility, it is awareness. It means you notice shifts in energy, you feel tension in the air, you hear what others pretend not to say. That's not a flaw, that's a gift. It means your spirit is alive and attuned to your surroundings. The world doesn't need more people who numb their instincts or bury their emotions to make others comfortable. It needs more people who feel deeply, speak honestly, and live fully connected to the truth of their own experience. When someone tries to weaponize your emotional intelligence by calling it a weakness, understand that it's not your sensitivity that's the problem, it's their discomfort with their own lack of empathy. So don't shrink yourself. Don't dim the light that allows you to feel both pain and beauty more vividly than most. There is nothing wrong with you, and you do not need to become colder to be respected. The right people won't shame you for feeling, they'll value you for it. They'll protect your spirit, not crush it. So if someone says, you're too sensitive, don't internalize it. Don't argue. Just walk away. Because your peace is too precious to be negotiated with those who refuse to feel. Number 2, you'll never make it without me. These words may sound like concern or loyalty on the surface, but at their core, they are a calculated attempt to instill doubt and dependence. This is not the voice of someone who believes in your potential. It is the voice of someone who fears your power. It is not love speaking. It is fear cloaked in possessiveness. Fear that you will outgrow them, evolve beyond their influence, or discover your own strength and no longer need their validation. When someone utters this phrase, they are not protecting you. They are building a cage around you. And I hope I will come through the terror of being the only one. Using emotional blackmail as the lock, Shi Heng Yi teaches that true inner power is forged through detachment, the ability to walk alone without fear, to release the illusion that your worth is tied to anyone else's approval or support. When your growth threatens someone, it means they never truly supported you. They only tolerated your rise so long as it stayed beneath their comfort level. These words are spoken by those who feel small in their own lives and attempt to tether you to their limitations. But you must understand, your path is your own, and no one owns the blueprint to your future but you. Independence is not selfishness. It is clarity. You were not born to be emotionally indebted to those who fear your freedom. You were born to expand, to break through walls, to prove, first to yourself, that you can rise without permission. So when someone tells you, "You'll never make it without me," don't try to convince them otherwise. Don't beg for their blessing. Smile with quiet certainty and walk forward, because the moment you stop needing them is the moment you finally remember who you are. Number 3, that's just how I am. Deal with it. These words are not a declaration of authenticity. They are a shield for avoidance, a way of excusing poor behavior without the burden of responsibility. When someone uses this phrase, they are not standing in truth, they are standing in resistance. It is not strength to claim your flaws as permanent. It is fear disguised as pride. True authenticity is not refusing to change. It is having the courage to evolve. Shi Heng Yi teaches that life is a constant unfolding, and those who cling to their worst habits under the guise of identity are choosing comfort over growth, ego over transformation. Saying, "That's just how I am," is not a personality trait. It's a refusal to reflect, to take accountability, and to rise above past conditioning. It's the language of someone who expects the world to adapt to their dysfunction, rather than doing the inner work to heal what is broken. But the truth is, real relationships, whether personal or professional, cannot thrive where one person is committed to evolution and the other is committed to staying the same. Peace cannot exist in the presence of willful ignorance. Never tie your inner peace to someone who uses their immaturity as a permanent excuse. Love doesn't mean accepting harm under the banner of personality. Respect doesn't mean tolerating disrespect simply because someone refuses to grow. If someone continually hurts you and justifies it by saying deal with it, they are not revealing who they are. They are revealing that they have no intention of becoming better. And when someone refuses to grow, they expect you to shrink. Don't. Walk away with grace, not anger, because your peace, your growth, and your dignity are not negotiable. Please listen this carefully. After that I explain further more things. I kindly request all my viewers to please note that my channel's name is Peak Motivation and the official URL is www.youtube.com/@peakmotivationp6c. This is my original voice and content. If you come across any cheaters, liars, or fake people copying my speeches and uploading them on their own channels, please unsubscribe from them immediately and report their channel. Because God and Jesus hate liars and thieves, it is also our duty to reject and oppose such dishonest people. If you find my speeches inspiring, impressive, motivational, and spiritually awakening, then please support my channel by subscribing at www.youtube.com/@peakmotivationp6c, liking, sharing, and commenting on the videos thoughtfully. Thank you. May God's mercy be upon you wherever you are, and may you always remain under His protection and care. Amen. Now, let us move forward with today's speech. Number 4. Everyone else agrees with me. This phrase is not a reflection of truth. It's a weapon of social pressure, a tactic used to silence your voice by surrounding it with the illusion of a crowd. When someone says this, they're not interested in reason or dialogue. They are using imaginary consensus to make you doubt your own clarity. It's an emotional ambush meant to isolate you, to make you feel outnumbered, to erode your confidence until you surrender, not because you're wrong, but because you're alone. But remember this, truth has never depended on numbers. The greatest truths in history were often first spoken by a single voice against the noise of the masses. Shi Heng Yi reminds you that wisdom is not loud, but grounded, not popular, but persistent. Just because a crowd agrees doesn't make something right. Herd mentality is easy. It requires no reflection, no courage, no backbone. But to stand in your truth, even when no one echoes it back to you, that is the mark of spiritual maturity. When someone tries to silence you with the phrase, "Everyone else agrees with me," recognize it for what it is. A desperate grasp at dominance, not a sign of strength. And more often than not, everyone is a fiction, a vague shadow used to make you feel small. Don't let your truth be voted out by the noise of insecure minds. Stand tall, speak clearly, and trust your inner compass. Because integrity doesn't need validation, and courage doesn't need company. If your soul is anchored in truth, let them gather their crowd. You don't need it. Walk away with the quiet power of someone who knows it's better to stand alone in truth than be surrounded by a crowd built on lies. Number 5, you owe me. These 3 words may sound simple, but they carry the heavy weight of manipulation disguised as generosity. When someone reminds you of what they've done for you, not out of gratitude, but as leverage, they are not showing love. They are issuing a silent command: obey, submit, repay. True kindness is never transactional. It flows from the heart without the expectation of return. But guilt is the chain they wrap around your freedom, pulling you back every time you try to move forward. What was offered freely is now being weaponized as a debt. Shi Heng Yi teaches that spiritual clarity comes from recognizing the difference between service and control. Those who constantly say, "You owe me," are not helping you out of compassion. They are investing in control and expecting you to pay it back with loyalty, silence, or obedience. This is not a relationship, it's a ledger. And if you stay in it, your soul will begin to shrink under the pressure of invisible debts. Every favor they bring up, every past gesture they throw in your face is not a reminder of love, it's a tool of power. And power built on guilt is the most fragile kind, because it relies on your belief that your freedom must be bought. But you owe no one your peace. You owe no one your voice, your dreams, or your soul. Gratitude is noble, but bondage is not. Detach with grace, not with resentment. Understand that those who truly love you don't keep score. Walk away from anyone who measures your worth in favors and expects your freedom in return. Because once help becomes a chain, it's no longer help, it's control. And your spirit was never meant to live in debt. The success, you are not a rehabilitation center for broken souls. Yes, compassion is sacred. Yes, empathy is powerful. But without boundaries, even the purest heart can be drained dry. Too often, we mistake our ability to carry someone's pain as a responsibility to heal them. But healing is not something you can force upon another. Shi Heng Yi teaches that true strength lies not just in giving help, but in knowing when to stop giving it. Some people do not seek healing. They seek hosts. They do not want to rise. They want company in their suffering. And if you're not careful, their pain becomes your prison. You begin to lose sleep over problems that aren't yours. You sacrifice your energy, your clarity, your peace, trying to patch wounds they refuse to tend themselves. But your soul was not born to be a lifeline for someone who has no intention of swimming. You are not cold for protecting your peace. You are wise. You are not selfish for saying no. You are aware. Help by nature must be mutual. One reaches and the other climbs. But if all you're doing is pulling, lifting and bleeding for someone who clings to their brokenness, you're no longer helping. You're enabling. There is a fine line between support and self-sacrifice, and once it's crossed, love turns into exhaustion. So respect your energy, preserve your light, let go of the belief that saving someone else is your purpose. You can care without carrying. You can love without losing yourself. The world needs your strength, but not at the cost of your sanity. Walk away when helping becomes harm, because your role is not to fix others, is to walk in your own healing and inspire others to rise by witnessing your peace. Number 7, walking away is not weakness, it's wisdom. In a world that glorifies endurance and romanticizes suffering, it takes immense inner strength to choose peace over chaos, to value your own soul enough to let go of what no longer serves it. People will tell you to stay, to keep giving, to fight harder, even when the battle is eating you from the inside out. But Shi Heng Yi reminds you that the strongest decision is often the quietest one. The moment you stop justifying your pain, stop trying to fix what others are committed to breaking, and simply choose yourself, you do not need to explain your worth to those who overlook it. You do not need to stay where your light is dimmed, your voice is dismissed, or your energy is drained. Walking away isn't about giving up, it's about waking up. It is the moment your spirit says, enough. Enough self-sacrifice, enough chasing clarity from confusion, enough building bridges to people who only burn them. When you walk away, you are not abandoning anyone, you are returning to yourself. You are reclaiming your power, your dignity, your peace. And yes, it may hurt, yes, it may feel like failure, but in truth, it is freedom. The kind that can't be given to you by anyone else. It is a sacred act of self-respect. Do not let the fear of being alone keep you bound to what breaks you. Silence is not surrender. Distance is not defeat. Walking away is a declaration that your inner peace matters more than anyone's opinion, approval, or chaos. And once you choose that, once you walk with your head high and your heart intact, you'll realize the greatest battles are not won by staying, but by having the courage to lead. So remember this, your time, your energy, and your peace are not open for negotiation. You were not created to live beneath guilt, manipulation, or emotional chains disguised as connection. When someone shows you who they are through words that wound, belittle, or control, believe them and walk away not with anger, but with clarity. Not to punish them, but to protect yourself, because silence can be power, detachment can be love, and walking away can be the highest form of self-respect. Let us now close with a prayer for wisdom, for peace, and for strength. May I have the courage to honor my worth even when others fail to see it. May I walk away from what no longer aligns with my truth, without fear or resentment. May my compassion be strong, but my boundaries even stronger. May I release the need to fix, to please, to prove, and instead rest in the stillness of knowing who I am. May every step I take away from what harms me be a step closer to what heals me. And may I always remember, peace is not found in holding on, but in knowing when to let go. May I walk not with bitterness, but with grace, not in silence of defeat, but in the power of self-respect. I am free, I am whole, I am walking toward my highest self. Amen.